The man everyone ignored walked in through the glass doors of the Mercedes dealership that morning, his boots leaving a faint trail of dust on the immaculate white floor. His shirt was stained with grease, his beard thick and gray, his cap old and frayed. To the world, he looked like just another broke wanderer, someone who didn't belong among polished chrome and million-dollar machines. But behind those weathered eyes, there was a storm of determination. The saleswomen at the counter barely looked up when he entered. Their laughter filled the air, the kind of laughter that's polished, practiced, and born from lives untouched by struggle. The ragged man, whose name was Elias Ward, paused for a moment, taking in the row of shining Mercedes-Benz trucks displayed like trophies. He brushed the dust from his hands and stepped toward them, his heart pounding, not from fear, but from memory. "I'll take 5 of them," he said simply, his voice steady but soft. For a heartbeat, the room froze. Then came the laughter, loud, cruel, and echoing against the glass walls. Before we go further, if this story already has your heart hooked, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Soul Spark. Every story here is crafted to inspire, move, and remind you that greatness often hides behind humble appearances. The lead saleswoman, a confident woman in her 50s with sharp silver hair, stepped forward, trying to suppress a grin. "5 Mercedes trucks?" she said, crossing her arms. "Sir, these are not cheap vehicles. Perhaps you'd like to look at something more affordable?" Elias smiled faintly. "I know exactly what I'm asking for. 5 Mercedes trucks." Her assistants exchanged amused looks. One whispered something about dreamers, and the laughter started again. Elias didn't react. He simply turned toward one of the trucks, running his hand along its gleaming grille like an artist touching a canvas. That touch carried years of memory. The feel of steel, the hum of engines, the heat of sun-baked highways. Once, long ago, Elias had built trucks like these. He had been a mechanical engineer, working in the very company whose logo now gleamed before him. But a factory accident had ended his career. The explosion took his partner's life, left him injured, and stripped away everything he had built. His wife couldn't handle the man he became afterward, quiet, haunted, limping. His savings vanished in medical bills, his home was sold, and his pride was buried somewhere between pain and poverty. For years he wandered, fixing engines in dusty workshops, living on coffee and hope. But every night he whispered to himself a promise, "One day I'll come back, and they'll know what a broken man can build again." That day had come. Elias turned back toward the women, their smiles still smug. "Maybe I should show you something," he said, reaching into his worn leather bag. The gray-haired woman raised an eyebrow as he pulled out a folded blueprint, creased, stained, but unmistakably official. The Mercedes emblem shone in one corner. "I designed this," Elias said quietly. "The A-9 transmission system, the one your new trucks use, that's my work." Silence. The laughter stopped. The room shifted. The women looked at each other, unsure how to respond. But before anyone could speak, the dealership manager entered, a tall man in an expensive suit who instantly noticed the tension. "What's going on here?" he asked. The lead saleswoman forced a polite smile. "Oh, just a misunderstanding. This gentleman claims he's here to buy—" "5 trucks," Elias interrupted. "I'm here to buy 5 Mercedes-Benz Actros 2,553 seconds. In white." The manager looked Elias up and down. "Sir, those trucks cost over $1 million combined. Are you sure you're—" But Elias was already unfolding another piece of paper, this time a certified check. The logo of an investment company gleamed at the top. The numbers made the manager's throat go dry. "I just sold my logistics startup," Elias said, "to a European distributor. The deal closed this morning. I told myself when that happened I'd come back here to start again, properly this time. I'll be hauling for myself now." The silver-haired woman's face flushed red. The laughter that once filled the room was gone, replaced by the heavy silence of shame. The same man they mocked now stood before them, owning the kind of success they couldn't have imagined behind those rags. The manager quickly adjusted his tone, his voice suddenly respectful. "Mr. Ward, please, right this way. Let's finalize your purchase." But Elias didn't move. He looked at the women, his gaze calm. "You know," he said softly, "people see dirt and forget it can come from hard work. They see old clothes and forget they can cover a proud heart. Don't ever laugh at someone who walks in wearing less than you. You never know how much more they carry inside." Then he followed the manager toward the office, the heavy echo of his boots cutting through the silence. As the paperwork was being prepared, one of the younger saleswomen approached him hesitantly. "Mr. Ward," she said, her voice small, "I'm sorry for how we treated you. I think I forgot that kindness costs nothing." Elias smiled. "That's all right," he said. "Just remember, respect is the easiest thing to give and the hardest thing to earn back." By the afternoon, the trucks were his. 5 gleaming Mercedes-Benz machines lined up under the sunlight, ready to roll. The same women who laughed at him stood watching as he climbed into the first cab, his worn jacket catching the light. He started the engine, a deep, powerful roar that seemed to shake the very ground. Then, without looking back, he drove out of the dealership. The road stretched endlessly ahead, and for the first time in decades, Elias felt something stronger than pride: peace. Before we wrap up this story, don't forget, if Elias's journey touched your heart, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Soul Spark for more real, emotional stories that remind us of the power of humility, hard work, and faith. Months later, the dealership received a large delivery contract, 5 new trucks requested for exclusive branding under a company called Ward Logistics International. The silver-haired manager nearly dropped his coffee when he saw the signature on the deal. Elias Ward, founder and CEO. The women who once mocked him were silent again, but this time not from shame, from awe. They had witnessed something extraordinary. A man rise from the dust and drive straight into destiny. And that's when they finally understood. The ragged man wasn't poor, he was simply unfinished. Never judge someone by the dirt on their hands or the clothes on their back. True wealth lies not in what we wear, but in what we dare to dream, and what we fight for when no one else believes we can.